Well, it was good to visit ACO just a few weeks ago when it was half term. It was busy with all the kids there and great to see everybody having so much fun. Now then, the Shropshire Leadership Conference, that's taking place on Tuesday, the 16th of April. It's taking place at Theatre 7 in Shrewsbury. And one of the keynote speakers is Michael Heppell. Michael is an international best-selling author. He's a renowned coach and also a motivational speaker. And I'm pleased to say he joins us now on Shropshire Business Live TV. Hello and welcome to SBLTV, Michael.
Thank you very much, Chris. It's great to be here.
It's going to be good to have you in and having you in Shropshire talking as well at this fantastic conference. There's a few people, Michael, I've said I'm speaking to you and their kind of eyes just lit up. You know, they've read your books, they're aware of you. So I think it's going to be really good having you at Theatre 7.
Do you know, it's one of those events that it's been booked in for a while. I am really looking forward to it. It had to change at one point a few years ago when I was booked and I was unable to do the new date. And I recommended a friend of mine and he rang me straight away and he said, "This event is brilliant. Thank you so much for recommending me." And I felt, that FOMO, that feeling of I wasn't there. And then when they got in touch and said, "We're doing it again and would love you to speak," I was absolutely thrilled.
Which is great, isn't it? And I know, as I said, there's people that are well aware of you, and I know have booked tickets because of this. So as they come along, you do your motivational speaking, as I said, you're a writer, you're a coach, lots of things to talk about. I'm not sure we've got enough time, to be honest with you, Michael.
Let's have a go.
Let's have a go, shall we?
I'll go with a bit of brevity for you, Chris.
So one of the questions I've got for you is since COVID's gone, motivational and us being motivational, maybe we're working from home now, sat at our dining room table. Has that become something that you're more aware of?
Do you know, it's a weird thing because there was a time when everyone came together. So we had that real, let's do this, let's create stuff, let's be different. We started to do online events and I invested in studio equipment and all sorts of things, which was great. And then it seemed to dip. And we had that moment where people were a bit bored with it. And then people weren't going into work and still working from home. But I've seen a shift, particularly in the last few months, where people are wanting to come together. They're seeing the benefits of being together. We're getting loads of inquiries now for on-stage speaking at big events, which had kind of stopped. So it's wonderful that it is happening. But what you find is that human nature, people have a desire to want to be together. That's why we have tribes. That's why when we go to a football match, it's 500 times better than just watching it on the TV with your mates. So making sure that you put something out there yourself, you will get 10 times back if you mix it with other people. And people are realizing that now. They're finding it, they're embracing it.
It is that thing, isn't it? As you say, we are a tribe. We are like to come together. And I think some people that are working from home are kind of almost missing those water cooler moments as well in the workplace.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have water coolers in the UK, do we? We have the kettle.
Yes, the cups of tea, the endless cups of tea and coffee.
Stood around the kettle having a chat. Yeah. I know that people do miss those moments, and it's interesting how it's shifting. I don't think it'll ever go back to how it was. There is that hybrid solution, which is when it works, it's great. When it doesn't work, people use it sometimes as an excuse not to be as effective or not to invest in their teams. I think that's changing. I'm pleased it's changing anyway.
And when you go into it to maybe a business or you're giving one of these talks and you see people, I guess they're kind of looking quite blankly maybe to start with, and then to see them, do you see their faces change as you come towards the end of your presentation?
Well, you introduced me as a motivational speaker, which is the dreadful words that nobody wants to hear. It's a staff conference, and now we've got the motivational speaker. And you just think,
nobody's clapping.
Oh God, here we go. What's he going to do? So I go on. I'm always self-deprecating. That's my modus operandi. Go in, put yourself down, so that people feel a little bit less threatened. I think people want to learn. I think people want to learn in different ways, but at the same time, stuff has to be practical. There's no point in me standing on stage and going rah rah and all that type of thing, and then people leave and go, "Well, that was good, but what do I do?" So these days, I think people, well, not these days, all time, people want practicals. Give me something to do, and I'll do it. That's the secret. And and that's different from coaching, because when you're coaching, you want people to have a lot of self-discovery, for people to work it out themselves a little bit, and you take them down a route. When you do keynote speaking, you've got maybe 45 minutes or an hour. It has to be content, content, content. People want to laugh, they want to cry, they want to go on an emotional roller coaster, and they want to leave knowing exactly what to do next.
And with the books, obviously, you know, the 6 international best-selling books that you've got, when you're writing those, do you have to think in a different mindset that you would do if you were doing, say, a stage presentation, or you're actually in the workplace?
It has changed, you know. I dictate now when I write. So I used to have to sit with a keyboard. I'm not a particularly good at typing, and I'm a bit dyslexic. Not a bit dyslexic, I am dyslexic, and I have a type of dyslexia, which means I'll jumble up words, and they look fine to me when I type them, and they look fine when I read them, and then when somebody else reads it, they go, what are you thinking about? So, you know, spell checkers and Grammarly and all that type of thing help. But now I dictate, so I actually do the writing as if I was doing a keynote, and then turn it into the written word afterwards with the first edit. And that's a really interesting process. And I've been teaching people to write books as well. So, you know, the books behind me there, all that line there, and then the one above that, there's another shelf. They're all people who have taught and coached how to write and publish and sell their books. And that is the most joyful thing, because it's like being a book midwife. You're helping people to get their book out into the world. So that's joyful, as well as writing your own. So it's changed. I think people now want stuff that's very accessible. They want stuff to be short and snappy and quick. You know, I don't know about you, Chris, but if I pick up a book and it's just solid, thick text, page after page after page, I'm like, have I got time to read this? It better be really good. Where if something's well laid out, it's broken up, you've got good chapter headings, you've got lists, you've got easy read material, I think you're more likely to get into it. And that's how you have to write now.
Absolutely, yeah. I've got to ask one question. What motivates you?
Debt. No, it's no, it's not. The thing that motivates me is I set a goal many years ago to positively influence 1 million lives. That was my big motivator. And I remember everything I did had to move towards that. And then we achieved the goal. So, you know, 500,000 people in live audiences, another 500,000 with books and audios and things like that. And thought, right, okay, what's next? And people were saying, you should do 10 million, you should do 20 million. Thought it shouldn't be about a number. What it should be about is an impact. And so my goal now, my whole vision in life, is to positively influence the lives of everyone who I connect with. So that really motivates me. So having a chat with you today is brilliant. The fact that people are going to watch this, that's brilliant. That's what I get excited about. So if I can do that every day, life's brilliant.
Which is a good way of looking at things, isn't it? Michael, listen, it's been fantastic to chat to you on Shropshire Business Live TV, and we're really looking forward to you coming to Theatres 7. So Tuesday, the 16th of April, there are tickets still available. You can just do a search for Shropshire Leadership Conference and find those. And of course, if people want to find out more information about yourself, they can do that on your website, can't they?
Yeah, just michaelheppell.com, Heppell. I'm the funny spelling of Heppell, but if you put me in the Google, I'll pop up at the top, hopefully.
Brilliant. Well, listen, I'm looking forward to seeing you at Theatre 7. Thank you so much for taking some time out this afternoon to have a chat with us.
My pleasure.